Hey guys, welcome back. Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency video on your daily news with XRP. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And we are approaching 10,000 subscribers. Really appreciate all the support and positive comments. Let me know down below if you guys have any thoughts for the next video and any questions regarding this one. And be sure to check out these links as well. So without further ado, let's get into the news. So first things first, shared by Hodor at Hodor on Twitter. Basically sharing a video with the CTO, David Schwartz. And he is interviewed by Jeff Roberts. And this was a great video, 25 minutes. I usually watch videos on 2x speed, might take some notes, and just learn overall, just listening to this guy. So David Schwartz, if you don't know already, he's a complete genius. His mind almost moves faster than he can actually speak. One of the first people to actually patent blockchain technology back in the day, like pre-internet era. And he's just talking about Ripple going after FIs, financial institutions, banks, and non-banks. And what Ripple's aiming to do, and Ripple's the private company, not the digital asset XRP. Now, Ripple's aiming to allow these organizations to essentially bypass SWIFT, the legacy transfer system today, so that they can, one, negotiate their rates, and use a network directly. And this is going to be removing the friction in the world of international payments. And I think he handles objections great. He answers honestly. He answers where they're at today, very transparent. And he just admits that revolutionizing the world of international finance does not happen overnight. Today, the payment messaging is not capable of processing and communicating together completely. And you cannot just build instantaneous settlement because of the messaging standards. And that's what they're working on. So Ripple has to rebuild the existing plumbing today to improve that messaging standard. I know I've done some videos on some messaging standards like the ISO, 220? I may have had that number incorrect, but check out that video. And eventually, then the settlement can happen instantly and instantaneously. So he says today, the struggle for recently at least is to get the big banks on board and convince the banks to move forward. However, if you've noticed the 200 plus production contracts we have today with Ripple, the financial institutions and non-bank institutions are much more aggressive and open to adopting something that works, saves money, and time. And in his opinion, banks are going to follow like dominoes after we gather that, and we see that proof of concept. But we need regulations first. So today, costs are very high. However, the volatility of XRP, the volatility in today's market actually favors the use of XRP. And that might sound very weird to you guys, but what you have to compare is although XRP is inherently more volatile on a daily basis, when you are transferring funds within 2 to 3 seconds, and maybe the whole transaction takes 2 to 3 minutes, it is actually still less volatile than the fiat transfers today that take roughly 3 days, if not more, with an extremely high error rate. Does that make sense? So a lot of people say XRP is too volatile. They're never going to be using digital assets. However, they're going to be. They're already exploring and pouring billions upon billions. Fidelity backed. We have huge groups. Facebook already created its own digital asset. And they're not worried about the volatility because they understand the current systems today. So that is just fear, uncertainty, and doubt that people try to comment and say XRP is too volatile, or people say it's too fast. That doesn't make any sense. And people are just spreading information on videos they don't know anything about. So please, please, please do your own research. Don't just watch my videos. Read some articles, guys. There are tons of smart people out there today. So I just want to explain that XRP is inherently more volatile, but within 2 to 3 seconds or even a minute or two transfer, it's still better and better than the complete transaction time of 3 to 5 days on SWIFT. And banks, so there's a lot of banks that might not want to hold XRP on the books due to regulatory challenges. And for example, say the bank wants to make a payment into Mexico, but they don't want the challenges of pre-funding these accounts. They don't have that liquidity. They don't want to deal with the fees and the time and in between and just running out of money overall. So they can actually, and this is a workaround today that is completely legal that they've discovered, they can have an xrapid customer, like a large payment company, use XRP to buy the Mexican peso as an internal treasury function and then offer the pesos to the bank. And it's a complete legal workaround, as I've just said, for situations, and many groups are actually starting to step on board and do that today. And again, with this occurring, I still believe that regulations are on the way, and when regulations come, I wholeheartedly believe that we will see some large banks move and jump on this opportunity. And the rest of this video is great. There's a whole bunch that he discusses, whether it's market makers, counterflows, the benefits of XRP being an open sourced blockchain, various success stories, and why he believes XRP is best positioned to become the #1 digital asset to solve international settlement. And when I mean solve it, I mean, reduce the friction in today's market. So, next clip, Tyler Winklevoss, one of the Winklevoss twins. These guys were, arguably the creators of Facebook back in the day, and they had a falling out with Zuckerberg, big lawsuit. I'm sure you recognize the name, and they own the Gemini exchange. And just some news that they will be opening offices in Chicago. So it's an exchange. They have a huge interest in Bitcoin. They're more so Bitcoin maximalists. They own thousands upon thousands. They are billionaires, of course, but just a kind of fun fact here. So the Chicago office will continue to scale for the future and continue to build on our existing data centers and direct connectivity. If you want a job, check it out. And of course, they see Chicago as, a future hub, especially in the world of finance and just the rich history. So, but I stay out of Chicago during the winter, because that is where I was born. All right, XRP Darren sharing this crypto basket XRP on the SIX Swiss Stock Exchange, XRP Daily. So for those of you that don't know, XRP is in an ETP, and that is an exchange traded product, similar to, an exchange traded fund. And they list some of the top assets in the market. So in this basket of products, you got XRP, although it's only about 8% of the portfolio. Still interesting to see. So you see Ripple. Of course, they just kind of use those names interchangeably. Hopefully that doesn't bother you. A lot of people still understand, and I use these names interchangeably because I think we understand, and it's been around for 6 years. Well established as a cryptocurrency. So good to see that we're seeing that. And again, we're going to see more of these, ETPs, ETFs, and different investment baskets with XRP and digital assets. And I believe that we're going to be seeing them on some bigger exchanges in the future, along with Fidelity, Vanguard, TD Ameritrade. It's just a matter of time, but we are waiting on regulations. But this is exactly how these revolutions occur, step by step. All right. Lastly, shared by Dylan at Dillon, Dillon. This is great. So this is the MoneyGram CEO, and his name is, what was his? It says MoneyGram teams up with Ripple. Let me pause this for a second, guys. Alex Holmes. So he's the CEO and chairman of MoneyGram. And for those of you that don't know, MoneyGram is massive. We know we've entered this strategic partnership for 2 years with the private company Ripple, which is great for XRP. And MoneyGram is the second largest money transfer provider in the world. It has the network you'd expect, including 350,000 agent locations, kiosks as well in over 200 countries. And Alex Holmes is praising Ripple. He literally says XRP as an asset is the absolute correct asset to use for settlement. And he believes that with the success of liquidity, he thinks they have a huge advantage on their competitors now. And XRP adoption will occur with other large payment companies when they develop the proof of concept and start using it successfully. So that is awesome. I just wanted to share that. And this is exciting times for XRP. I know you guys are seeing your portfolios. You're questioning 40 cents, 50 cents, 30 cents, but that does not matter in the long game. When you realize that the market cap is not calculated the same as stocks, this is a whole new ball game. It's all based on order books. It's all based on supply and demand. You guys are going to be in for a ride of your lifetime if you're willing to hold. This is not investment advice. This is not investment advice, entertainment purposes only. And please only invest money that, you're willing to lose. Because again, this is a speculative market as of today. But again, we are going to be facing utility, and eventually that's what it will be based on. So guys, we're approaching 10,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. I have never been more excited for digital assets as a whole. I don't understand why people are just looking at the price when you understand that price is a matter of perspective. Right now, the reality of Ripple and the digital asset XRP, which is what most of us are invested in, is right there. They're forming those partnerships. They're forming the utility. We're creating connections and gateways and, helping that adoption for connectivity with messaging standards so we can send everything instantaneously around the globe. we've been building the framework. We've been, building that infrastructure, the plumbing, so everything can work perfectly. This is exciting. And what happens now is the reality, in my opinion, is above the actual perspective. So now the perspective eventually is going to go up and meet that reality. And when that happens, the price will change. I wholeheartedly believe XRP is well worth over $1, even all-time high when we had $3.84, and we had none of this news 2 years ago. I wouldn't be surprised to see a double-digit XRP shortly. And please don't invest upon me saying that. I'm just telling you my perspective. I think that this, when it does happen, can happen very quickly. However, it's still subject to massive corrections. We know the digital asset space. But guys, big things are ahead. Can we see a $3 XRP soon? Absolutely. $10, $15, yes. And I think for those, many retail investors are going to sell in the next few years or next few months if we see that type of upside. And that's great. Take profit, so you can sleep at night and feel good and be proud of yourself and pay your taxes. But if you ask me, the next 5 years, decade, whatever, when this is all going through and regs come, I believe you can call me a nut job. I don't care. Keep commenting hate on my video without any information. I believe we're going to see a 3-digit, if not 4-digit, potentially even higher. I've seen some, pretty smart people. Maybe they're just passionate and have confirmation bias saying it'll be much, much higher. And if you ask me if it ever does that, which would be insane, it would be like living in a dream. I don't even think I would ever sell my XRP. You wouldn't need to. There wouldn't be enough money to even sell. So I would probably just hold some XRP for the long term. And we already have some options today where you can use XRP to purchase things, just like you can use Bitcoin to pay for property or specific cars. We're going to be able to interchange our assets that we hold long term for other assets. We're not going to need to go back into fiat when XRP is inherently deflationary. It will automatically, thanks to, of course the burn rate is minuscule, but it's still going to increase in value over time. And remember, the great video by, SPQR, they make that case why XRP was actually designed to be $10,000 per coin. The number of digits they have. It's all upside, guys. Now, again, this is speculative. Please diversify always. But for me, if you ask me, I've heard Mark Cuban say that diversification is for people that don't know what they're doing, but it's still smart because you can see what sticks. And I'm staying out of stocks for the time being. Of course, add to your IRA or retirement fund or 401k, whatever you see fit. Of course, those are going to give options with digital assets as well. But if you ask me, digital assets right now are sleeping giants, and you're following the money. Follow the billions of dollars. Follow the news. Do not be fooled by price right now. You know that there's AI algorithms that are heavily manipulating the market. Who was that? There was a group and news article that just came out the other day that, I'm not going to say which company because I forgot, but they were literally caught guilty manipulating the precious metals market. I'm not sure if it was Merrill Lynch. I forget, but I'll have to find that article. But guys, the world is run by greed. I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I have a very optimistic view of the future. But this is all upside. You have MoneyGram, the second largest payment group, literally praising not just Ripple and XRapid, XRP. He literally says this as a quote. You can watch this video. It's 50 seconds, shared by Dylan at Dylan on Twitter. XRP as an asset is absolutely the best one to use for settlement. Guys, this is going to be massive. This is a huge opportunity. All of these other YouTubers and Twitter researchers and bloggers are completely right, in my opinion, guys. This is a great community. A lot of people in these other altcoins and digital assets, they can still succeed. But I'm telling you that XRP is number one, and that's why I chose to cover it on this channel. It was the first asset that I discovered years ago. However, I didn't invest in it. I wish I did. And I watched it. I watched it go sub-penny all the way to $3.84. And by that time I had some. But guys, please, please, please understand the magnitude of this opportunity we have in front of us. Please share this video. Please subscribe. Please like this, like this video. Check out the playlist I have. It is almost all Ripple XRP based. Go through it, learn, take some notes. Teach me a thing or two. People are always leaving great comments and teaching me awesome information. I appreciate it. Or just telling me to look into something. Even if it's another digital asset, I will always look because there's always, my door for opportunity, or my door is always open. And an intelligent mind will learn to tickle different ideas. So tell me, any fear and uncertainty and doubt you might have with Ripple and XRP, and I want to look into it. I'm not going to look into it to, tell you you're wrong. I'm going to look into it and say, you know what? That's a possibility. But money is made when you risk it. Otherwise, if there was no risk in this asset class, there wouldn't be any money to be made. And that's how the world works. Guys, I know I've been rambling for a while. I just got pumped. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one.